Have you ever been in a situation where you just didn't understand something but didn't know how to ask? Maybe it was during a class, a meeting, or even a casual conversation. Many of us have been there, wanting to gain clarity or learn more but feeling stuck because we weren't sure how to express our question. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am Masood, your English teacher. Without further ado, let's jump to it. Would it be accurate to say that student and pupil are synonymous? So you've got to pay much attention to the word accurate. The meaning is that correct and true in every detail. And the collocations are accurate information, accurate measurement, and accurate description. For example, the report provides accurate information about the incident. The next word is synonymous, which is an adjective, right? So, and the stress is on the second syllable, N, synonymous, right? It means having the same or nearly the same meaning as another word. You can say synonymous with success, synonymous terms, and synonymous phrases. For example, her name is synonymous with success in the business world. Or, those phrases are almost synonymous in daily speech. No, not exactly. A student is a person who studies in a school, college, or university. Pupil has a more restricted use. A pupil is someone who only studies in school, especially a primary school. Restricted. The asterisk is on S. Restricted. It means limited in use or availability. Restricted area, restricted use, restricted movement. For example, access to this area is restricted to staff only. So, the next phrase is that it's a bit ambiguous to say she's a good student, isn't it? Right? Ambiguous, ambiguous. And the SOS is on B, ambiguous, right? It means having more than one possible meaning or interpretation. Ambiguous statement, ambiguous answer are collocations. Ambiguous statement, ambiguous answer, ambiguous wording. Okay, so B says, yes, you can interpret it in different ways. Good can mean well-behaved or hard-working. Interpret, interpret, t, right? This is on t. It means to explain the meaning of something. For example, interpret the results. Scientists worked hard to interpret the results of this study. Interpret the data. It's difficult to interpret the data without additional context, or interpret the law. Lawyers often debate how to interpret the law. Okay, next. The meaning of wrapping paper is fairly obvious, isn't it? B says, yes, it's self-explanatory, just paper for wrapping presents and stuff. Self-explanatory is an adjective. It means clear and easy to understand, without needing further explanation. And the collocations are self-explanatory instructions. The manual includes self-explanatory instructions, self-explanatory message, self-explanatory design. Right? Okay, we can move on. Can you give me a precise definition of soul? B says, well, it's virtually the same as a spirit, the part of you that is believed to exist after you die. But the spirit has several other meanings too. Precise. It is an adjective and it means exact and accurate in every detail. Precise details, precise timing, and precise measurement. These provide precise details about the event. The next vocabulary we've mentioned is virtually. Virtually. It is an adverb and it means that almost or nearly, but not completely. Virtually identical or virtually identical. For example, the two plants are virtually identical, nearly identical, it means. Virtually impossible. It's virtually impossible to solve this puzzle without help. And virtually unknown. The author was virtually unknown before the publication of this work. Alright, it's time to put these words into action. Let's look at the passage that feels like something you'd find in an IELTS exam. I remember a time in a history class at university when I didn't understand what the professor was talking about. It was about the Cold War, and the professor used some terms that weren't self-explanatory. For example, he kept mentioning bipolarity, which sounds synonymous with two-sided, but its meaning was more restricted to politics. I was with my friend Sarah, and even she found the lecture ambiguous. During the break, I decided to ask the professor, could you give me a more precise definition of bipolarity? I'm not sure how to interpret it in this context. The professor explained it in simple words, and it became virtually clear. This situation taught me that asking questions is always better than staying confused. That's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. If you liked it and want to learn more about advanced vocabulary, make sure to check out this video here. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.